Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin, the former commander of the U.S. Army's elite Delta Force. All right, good evening, General. Your reaction to these attacks in Denmark?
Well, here's a news flash, Judge. This is going to get worse. The United Nations now has a resolution called 1618, which would make any disparagement of Islam or the Prophet Muhammad a hate crime or hate speech. Now, this was proposed 10 years ago by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, 56 Muslim states plus the Palestinians, and it has been supported by Hillary Clinton on behalf of the United States. If they pass this, which they've already passed it in the Human Rights Council, if they pass this, this is going to apply to all the member nations of the United Nations, and this whole situation that you see today is going to get worse.
All right, when you say that it would apply to all the members of the United Nations, this essentially restricting the First Amendment right of Americans and free speech, a foundation of this republic, are we saying that a UN resolution can affect our ability to say what it is we have a right to say?
Well, what I'm saying is that is the intention of this. That's what the United Nations, or that's what the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, is working for, is to ensure that all member nations come under this, and it restricts free speech. Any disparagement of Islam or the Prophet Muhammad would be considered hate speech.
All right. Let's talk about the fact, General, that, you know, as this is happening, and I just spoke with Congressman Perry about this, as we see the movement west from the Middle East, and you say you can rest assured it's going to happen to us, we've got a president who is seeking to have Congress limit his authority to go after what is clearly a global threat.
No, that's exactly right. I think the congressman was very articulate on this issue. This is a global network of jihadists. This is a global network of radical Islamists that are motivated by their theology. And it doesn't come in just in one form or shape or color. It's not just ISIS. You have a network that is all motivated by the same thing, and we need to have the ability and a strategy, Judge, to go after them wherever we find them, regardless of what name they carry, and we don't have a strategy.
Well, first of all, we can't even name them, but when you say we don't have a strategy, what should we be doing? What should the military be doing?
Judge, you develop a strategy by starting with an assessment of your enemy. What are his strengths, weaknesses, capabilities? What are his objectives? What motivates him to fight? What are the key personalities? We haven't done that. Yet we call this a strategy when we haven't even done an assessment or an appreciation of the enemy. And then the strategy has to be based on what our intentions are, what our objectives are. And I have yet to see anything that even comes close to that. And this whole nonsense of a sustained ground campaign or a sustained ground warfare, I must have missed that in the War College, Judge, because I don't know what that means.
As well as strategic patience. Remember that one?
No, I missed that one too, Judge.
All right, General Boykin, thanks. We're going to talk to you again later in the show. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have much more on this developing story. Plus, my opening statement is coming up next.